won't harm you. Big puddings. Still out for the count.
That's the way I like 'em. Slipped the Mickey Finn, were they?
So, how much have you lost, Mr. Nolte?
How much? I've been cleared out. Well, the best has gone. Had some silver scrap. Some photographic stuff just came in. That was worth a couple of grand on its own.
So who did it, Mr. Nolte? Someone who knows you? And your dogs?
Could be.
Who works for you?
Brother-in-law.
Trust him?
Not as a rule as it goes, but he's on holiday in Tenerife. Of course, there is a security firm.
Oh, yeah?
They work this whole patch. 6 months I've been using them. No complaints till now.
You're Mrs. Davis.
That's right.
And you are?
I'm Jim Langdon.
Jimmy's a neighbour. Come to give me support.
Okay. So when did you start receiving the letters?
It started about a month ago.
Is this all of them?
Well, it's enough, isn't it? Tell you the truth, I burnt the first one. Made me feel quite ill, you know.
They're all posted locally?
Yes.
And there's no handwriting or typing on any of the letters?
No, no.
Look, we know who's been sending them.
Oh, you do?
Yes. My husband.
Kemble. I know that name.
This place needs bombing. Again.
Copper. There's a copper by the name of Kemble. Not Sunhill, I think. He was a mate of yours, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a mate. We never worked together.
Had a very attractive wife, as I remember. What happened to him?
Oh, he left the force a couple of years ago.
And started a security firm. Ah, so it is him. You've gone past it.
What?
Kemble's place, it's back there.
Are you absolutely sure it's him, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, yes. I'm sure. Take that regular. Found that copy in the bin yesterday evening.
Did you tell your husband? That you knew, I mean?
Of course. Says he hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about. Says the paper isn't his.
Should be locked up.
Why do you think he started sending the letters?
I'm not sure.
Well, he can't take it, can he?
What do you mean?
Well, he's weird. Wants her to stay inside all the time. She's not having that. Are you going to do anything?
Look, I'm not doing nothing bad. Just going out a few evenings. Nothing startling. I mean, if he doesn't want to come along, all right. But he doesn't have to... Well, he doesn't have to call me all those names and stuff, does he?
Well, you think I should stay in the car while you go and talk to him?
Might not be a bad idea. He's a friend of yours.
Was.
Oh, come on, Ted. The way you've been sticking up for him, you might as well be bosom pals.
Well, get stuffed.
Oh, charming.
Ted, good to see you.
Hello, Roy.
I thought I'd be getting a visit from your crowd. How are you?
I'm all right. This is Mike Dashwood, my colleague.
Pleased to meet you. Have a seat.
No, I'm fine.
A drink.
We've come about the scrapyard break-in.
Ah, yes. Coffee?
No, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Nolte rang me a little while back. Bad news. For me as well as him.
The husband? Good grief. And you believe her?
No reason not to. Can I bring him in, Sarge?
No, Kathy, I'm afraid not.
Why not?
Well, if that's all the letter contains...
Oh, Sarge, this woman's really upset.
Yes, I realise that, and I'm not surprised, but, you know, we can only act if the letter is actually obscene or it contains a death threat. I'm sorry.
How many men did you have on last night?
Just two.
Normally there'd be 4. That is the deal.
Yes, Ted, that is the deal. But you can never get the bodies. Bit like the Force, eh?
We'll need the names of those 2 men, and I'll want to look through all your staff records.
It's no problem. And they're not on computer yet, but they're all in order. They're good men. I wouldn't hire anyone I couldn't trust.
I'm sorry.
See, I told you.
You were absolutely right to come in and see me. And if the letters continue, or if they get worse, we might be able to do something then.
It's a waste of time.
You'll stop sending them now.
Shouldn't be allowed to get away with it.
Perhaps the best thing would be some kind of counselling.
Counselling? Don't make me laugh.
For me or my husband.
Or for both of you. If you want to try and stay together, that is.
Well,
I'm prejudiced, aren't I?
it's more than a bit sus, isn't it? Probably needs cash fast.
Who doesn't?
Maybe he didn't do the job himself, but he set it up.
Been done by outsiders with a bit of planning, no worries. Especially with only 2 guys going the rounds. But then I'm prejudiced.
So what's your problem, Michael? You don't like the cut of his clothes or something?
No, it's not that. It's... Well, he and Roach were friends. Maybe still are.
Well, we all make mistakes. So?
Well, Gov, I think it's an inside job.
What, a copper turned villain? It's happened before. It'll happen again. There are some people, you know, who can do both jobs at the same time. So you think Ted's been a friend in need?
Oh, maybe not intentionally, but I do think he's too close to it.
There is another possibility, Michael, that him being a pal of this geezer could be a help rather than a hindrance.
There are some days, like today, and I almost miss them. To you and me, Ted, in the old times.
Cheers. So, how long you been in this business?
2 years.
2 years too long?
I'm managing.
Cash flow problems? We talked to the 2 guys on duty last night. They seem fairly straight.
Come on, Ted. This is either a social call or it's an interrogation.
I want to know it wasn't you.
No, you don't.
All right? Did you take the stuff?
No.
That's what I wanted to hear. Do you know who did?
Nope.
Could you make an inspired guess?
Not me, Ted. It's not the way I work. It never was.
How'd you get on? That snout you thought might be helpful.
Oh, yes. No luck, I'm afraid. How about you?
Well, run checks on all Kemble's staff.
And?
Clean.
Told you.
Kemble.
No, thanks, Tosh.
No, he was a copper, wasn't he? Got the elbow for some moonlighting racket or something. Didn't he? Maybe he didn't. Hello, CID lines. Yes, hang on, will you? Yeah. Ted, the plot thickens. Laura Kemble.
What's up, Sarge?
Ah, the husband, Davis, he's turned up.
Oh, has he?
I think you better have a word with him, find out what it's all about.
Right, thanks, Sarge.
Ted!
She wants to talk to me. It could be useful.
It could be a blind.
Oh, for God's sake. Listen. Kemble is guilty. He's no mate of mine, all right? Happy?
No, not really. While he's a mate of yours, you'll never find out whether he's guilty or not.
Leave it, Mike. If you're that unhappy, go and see Burnside.
I already have. You went back to see Kemble, didn't you? Look, Ted, it's quite simple. I just want to nick the right man, that's all.
You want to nick me, you mean?
Mr. Davis.
Yes. I need protection.
Protection? Why, Mr. Davis?
Well, Joyce, my wife, she came round here this morning.
Yes, it was me she saw. About the poison pen letters? She says you sent them.
Yes.
Did you?
No. I need protection.
Because of the letters?
Because of her bloke.
Her bloke?
He lives on the estate. And she goes round to his house, the slag. His name's Jim Langdon.
And that was when you started sending the letters, when you thought your wife...
I didn't send them. Look, it doesn't matter whether I sent them or not. She will have told him now and he'll believe her. Please, I need protection.
You think he did it, don't you?
Well, that's not true. I mean, I'm not certain.
Ted, did Roy ever explain to you why he left the force?
Well, not really. I mean, I heard that there was some caper at the station that he knew about, but didn't squash. Well, it's stupid, but there you go.
He was weak, Ted, not stupid. He was covering up for a couple of blokes. He gets pressured. He does people favours, even when it means he's doing himself no favours at all.
So you reckon history is repeating itself, is that it?
There's someone called Wood. He's a cousin of Roy's. He joined the firm about 6 months ago. He'd been made redundant, or so he said.
And?
Well, he tried a break-in recently.
When was this?
About 2 weeks back, but it was never reported. Do you see?
So Wood lent on Roy to hush it up.
I'm sure of it.
He's not with the firm now?
No. Roy told him he had to go, but knowing Roy, he'd probably let him back in a couple of months if he managed to keep his nose clean.
But he hasn't, you reckon?
As I said, I can't be sure.
Well, thanks for the drink. And the chat.
I just don't want Roy being the fall guy again. That's all.
Don't worry, love. He won't. You're gonna have to start being helpful.
For old time's sake.
No, Roy. For your own sake. I don't like to have to say this to you, but you've been playing a mug's game. You should have got in touch. You hired a man with 3 convictions, fresh out of the scrubs. Nothing to say?
Nothing to say.
Harold J. Wood. Address, reference, previous place of employment. Your filing's a mess. You could really do with that computer.
Sloppy work. I want you to come down to the station.
To help with inquiries.
That's the idea, yeah.
Who told you about Harry Wood?
A friend.
I told him no chance and sent him on his way. Well, we're not going to give him a round-the-clock guard now, are we?
No, but it might be an idea to keep an eye on things, though, for a day or two.
If you say so. He's responsible for those letters, Sarge. I know he is.
Yes. And Mrs. Davis's friend? He knows that too.
Yeah?
Harry Wood?
Yeah?
Somehow CID, we've come in connection with a burglary.
Oh, yeah?
Can we come in?
Sure, Tate. We better go in kitchen. Out. What burglary is this then?
Scrapyard at Meredith Street last night. Zinc, lead, some silver, a truck, equipment. Quite a haul.
We have reason to believe you were involved.
No. Sorry.
Your dog?
He can smell coppers, you see. He's all right.
Previous to that, on the night of the 24th, in fact, you were responsible for a burglary at Sherwood's clothing manufacturers, also in Meredith Street.
No way. I've done nothing.
No! Ted! Ted!
Well, what the hell do you think the dog was doing there? Being groomed for crafts? Pair of third-rate prima bloody donnas. That's about the best reference I can give you two.
Gov, we've got a watch on the house and we've circulated Wood's description.
Yeah. Look, it's time to put the pressure on. Now, I am going to formally arrest Kemble on suspicion of burglary. I want to find out how far he's involved in all this. If that's all right with you, Ted.
Gov, it's quite clear.
What is clear, Michael, is that Kemble has been covering up for this bloke, and that is enough for me. Now, at the very least, he is going to tell me which little hole Wood has crept into.
A bit old for this game, aren't they? What's his name again?
Langdon.
Hey, do you think they are having it off?
Probably, Phil, yes. Maybe not at this precise moment. Doesn't matter. It doesn't excuse what her husband did. We better try the Davises. It's over there, I think.
Ah, conveniently situated.
Sometimes.
Feel like jacking it all in.
CID. Yes, Laura. Yes. Okay, I'll be right over.
Is Mr. Langdon likely to use violence?
I think he might, yes.
Where is he now? Do you know?
Pub, maybe?
Which one?
One of any number.
What about your husband at work?
No, he didn't go in today. I rang them. Apparently he phoned in and said he was ill. He has trouble with one of his legs.
Where will he be?
No idea. I knew Jimmy would take it badly, but I had to tell him. Otherwise, well, this neighbour, you see, this woman, he thought she was sending the letters. He was talking about getting back at her. Well, I thought if I came to the police, perhaps you could do something. Give my husband a warning, maybe, and then Jimmy might be satisfied.
He phoned and said he'd been arrested. I knew this would happen.
Laura.
Didn't you get Wood?
No, we didn't.
You think he's guilty, don't you?
Oh, come on, Laura, take it
But
easy.
he won't say anything to implicate Wood. He'd rather go down than that.
Hey.
Oh. I'm sorry, Ted.
That's all right, love.
The joke is, Jimmy doesn't know the half of it. Nor do you.
What do you mean?
What did you say they had to be to make you lot take it seriously? Obscene? Threatening? Go on, read it. Don't let him see it, though. I never let Jimmy see them. If he had...
Should have brought these in this morning, Mrs. Davis.
Maybe.
Are you prepared to allow them to be used as evidence?
No.
Why not?
I don't want my husband to get into trouble. I don't want Jimmy to hurt him, but I don't want him nicked, neither.
What do you want?
I don't know. He is my husband.
He'll be all right, Laura, provided he tells the truth.
Get him out. You can do it. Make him see what I told you. Come on, Ted, you can do it. For old friends. For me. Please. I'd be so grateful. I mean that. Very grateful.
I can't make any promises, Laura.
Of course you can. And you can break them too.
How many more pubs do we have to try?
Who'd be a woman, eh? A woman like Mrs. Davis, I mean. A weirdo for a husband and a boozing maniac for a bit on the side.
You were quick.
Yeah,
Anything new?
you could say that. Well, you between me and Mrs. Campbell.
He needed a job. Ted?
Detective Sergeant Roach enters interview room.
That way.
Interview suspended. Half an hour of this and he's finally coming out with a Wood story.
It's all bull. He did it. His wife tried to arrange a deal with me.
Nice one, Ted.
She panicked.
So what about the Wood story?
Cooked up by the two of them.
Very neat. And what evidence have you got, Ted?
None at all, Gov.
How long you known the Kembles?
Long enough to know they're capable.
Right. Well, let's hit him with the good news about his wife offering you favours first. Then we'll see how he shapes up.
What the hell?
spell.
Oh, it's my leg. I'll murder him. We'll miss the Foxtrot finals now. So how come your old woman's so upset? Needed Ted Roach to calm her down.
If you've got evidence, charge me.
Socko will be going over your place. The photographic silver will leave traces. And there's the drugs used on the dogs. If the evidence is there, we'll find it. Come on, Roy. You know how it works. Why not tell us, eh?
We'll find wood, too.
I'd like a solicitor.
Yes? My name's Campbell. My husband's been arrested. I've come to see him.
Sorry, what's the name again?
Campbell. He's Roy Campbell. He was brought in here 4 hours ago.
I'm sorry, Laura.
Oh, don't give me that. You bastard.
As I say, I'm sorry.
We thought we could trust you. How does it feel, Roach? Betraying a friendship.
I didn't betray it. You did.
One denim jacket, one pair wet look gloves, one pair jeans, knees slashed, half a baseball bat.
Like the suit.
Thanks.
Going somewhere special?
Conference in Chambers. One copy latex lovelies.
Ah, very nice.
That's the lot for Crown v Kevin Leach. Leach, of course, it's your arse and didn't click for a second. That's the offensive weapon, is it, Alistair?
That and a lighted match.
He need to bother using matches.
What?
Your lad. He could have had instant combustion with this thing.
Not one I know.
Oh, go on.
No.
Oh, all right, then.
Was anyone killed in this fire?
Come on, Vin.
No, they got the would-be victim out.
Would you mind picking these up, please? I said pick these up and put them in the bin.
You'd think they had better things to do.
Look, if you think... Lee, it is an offence to drop litter.
Like catching armed robbers.
I'm different, am I? From when you knew me last year? Oh, I've got a uniform on, so I'm not the same person. I mean, is that it?
No.
You are making a mistake, you know. Right, that's it. Pick them up. Officer! Officer!
Somebody spotted you from the doorway. The manager's just rung the station.
Sorry.
Irene Harris, store detective. We've got a shoplifter.
Have you?
It's actually the second one this week.
Got a gun, have you? Only someone might have nicked to your cubby.
Right, that is it.
Stupid cow.
What did you say? I heard that.
Delia.
I'm taking these two tow rags home. 40 Jasmine Square, if I remember right. Little parental chat call for, I think.
Well, just keep in touch, OK? Sierra Oscar from 659 receiving.
Go ahead, 659.
Investigating a shoplifter in the co-op at the centre.
Yeah, received. Oh, no. Irene strikes again.
Oh, dear, what a shame. And Loverboy's got a heavy date in Chambers.
He'll be really upset.
You never know. If Irene runs true to form, he may just get back in time.
Besides the items in question, it's possible that the suspect consumed a fun-sized chocolate bar. We found a wrapper.
Did it have a store price tag on?
No, I'll have that off in a second.
So there's no actual evidence?
Unfortunately.
Mind that, will it?
Why is it when I get a handling job, it's generators and trolley jacks? Oh, except when it's paint sprays and spanners.
Yeah, it's not everyone gets an invite to a conference in Chambers, is it, Vivek?
You probably need a law degree to qualify.
Or even half of one.
I've got a broad working knowledge like everyone else.
You know your CPS onions, Alistair. There's no denying that.
Yeah, you don't get files back marked try harder, or could you please get statements from the whole of Fairfield's estate?
Yeah, the trouble is, at the end of the day, it's these top barristers who steal the show, isn't it, eh? They roll off in their hand-tooled Porsches, a couple of K in their pockets, names plastered all over the newspapers.
A joint effort.
That's not how it comes out. Right, Viv.
Graham, hello.
You can't park here.
Sorry?
Well, one can, but it's generally reserved for the head of chambers.
Right, thanks.
This is Mr. Coombs, our branch manager. This is WPC... Oh, sorry. Ford.
Nice to meet you, officer.
And you, sir. Is this it?
Got your bag of tricks, then?
As per instructions.
Anthony Rush is a great one for having a sniff at the exhibits. Thinks they'll give him a flavour of the defendant.
Yes, well, the baseball bat was quite a find.
It was. Until they moved the goalposts.
What?
Hello. Graham Woodward, CPS, and DS Gregg. 4:30 conference with Anthony Rush. See, the trouble with arson cases is that it's always the psychiatrists who come up with the biggest bag of tricks.
What do you mean they've moved the goalposts?
Leach is no longer denying that he started the fire.
Oh, really? Well, that's good news, isn't it? Mind you, I thought he'd wise up in the end.
I don't know about wising up. The defence have brought in 2 psychiatrists, in whose expert opinion Leach can't be held responsible for his actions.
That's absurd. He knew what he was doing.
Who are we to judge?
I think I've spent long enough with Leach to suss out how responsible he is.
Yes, well,
When did this happen?
last week.
You could have let me know.
I tried a couple of times.
It might have been nice if you'd tried a bit harder.
Mr. Rush's 4:30. Would you mind taking your seat? He's on his way back from court.
Look, you can't seriously believe I'd bother stealing anything.
in a second, Mr. Nolan. Mrs. Harris, I'd like you to tell me in the suspect's hearing what you saw this afternoon that led you to make your arrest.
I had the suspect, whom I now know as Mr. Philip Bernard Nolan, in my surveillance for some 20 minutes prior to the offence being committed. He drew himself to my attention by constantly looking round in a furtive manner. He had a canvas shopping bag placed in the front end of his trolley. I watched him approach the frozen goods section, select a packet of pork chops and place them furtively into his shopping bag. Mr. Nolan made no attempt whatsoever to pay for the pork chops when passing through the checkout counter. I therefore detained the suspect as he attempted to leave the store.
Mr. Nolan, you've heard what Mrs. Harris has told us.
I've heard it.
What have you got to say?
It's like a bad dream, officer. That's all I've got to say. It seems to have been going on for a week or more.
Mr. Nolan?
Look, I must have 40 or 50 quid in here. Why should I bother stealing anything? I could buy it 20 times over. It doesn't make sense.
That's what they all say.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of theft. You're not obliged to say anything. If you do, it will be taken down and may be used in evidence against you.
Sorry to have kept you. Do come in and sit down if you can find a place. The thing I was on should have finished before lunch. Unfortunately, the jury seemed totally incapable of grasping the concept of self-defence. There ought to be an intelligence test.
It's called being able to read the oath.
Quite. Now, if you'll bear with me, I'll see if Adrian can organise some tea. Couldn't manage tea for 3, could you?
Actually, we may be 4.
Oh, really? Sling on an extra cup, old chap. Yes, thanks. So, hearing ended 3:35. Verdict, guilty. Sentence 18 months, 6 months suspended. 10-minute con with client. Now, unfortunately, headed for Pucklechurch, fortified by my 3 remaining king size. There, now you have my undivided attention. Well, for at least 10 seconds. Mark, you haven't got any spare fags, have you?
Sorry, Anthony, I forgot you had a con.
Thanks.
Your client went down, did he?
Yes, guilty on all 3 counts.
See you at the bash tonight, then.
Right. So now let's have a look at this fire setter of ours, shall we? Leach and the Crown.
Must be odd making the switch from defending to prosecuting, sir.
Oh, well, it's all play acting, isn't it?
Is it?
Coupled with mild schizophrenia, that right, Graham?
Practically guaranteed.
Of course, according to the experts, that's what our friend Kevin Leach is suffering from. Although in his case, it could hardly be termed as a mild form.
I've just told DS Gregg the news.
Oh, really? And what's your reaction, officer?
I'm afraid I think it's a load of rubbish, sir.
So you believe he's pulling the wool, do you?
Yes, sir.
Anthony, I've asked Tim Headley to drop by. Tell us what he thinks of these 2 reports.
Well, that's excellent. I thought he was still on holiday.
He was. He's got a cottage in Cornwall, 2 miles down the coast from ours. It's early days yet, but I thought it would be useful if he could make this conference.
Did he actually get in to see Leach?
He managed to persuade the prison governor to fit him in before he went away.
So, and what's the verdict?
No idea.
Oh, well, looks as if we're about to be put out of our misery. Unless, of course, it's to tell us there's no more Earl Grey.
Forgot the handcuffs, Sergeant.
Won't be long, sir. Just till the duty solicitor shows his face.
to do that, Sarge.
Saves having to babysit him for who knows how long.
But doesn't it seem like we're using a hammer to crack a nut?
Nut is probably right.
But what's he taken, Sarge? I mean, what's it worth? 2 quid and 27p. I mean...
Hello, John.
Irene?
I ought to start my statement.
I'll be with you in a second.
Personally, I'd never pay that much for a couple of chops.
If he's found guilty, his job's obviously down the tube.
That's not our concern.
No, I know, I just...
You didn't bring them back, did you?
What?
The packet of chops.
Well, you didn't need them, did you? I got the price tag.
Oh, no, it's okay. Mind if it's half a salmon, make sure it's on my desk.
OK, Sarge. Now for Mrs. Harris. Where is she?
I think I can make a pretty good guess.
Tim, delighted you could come.
Only too glad.
Now, you know Anthony, of course.
Nice to see you, Tim.
Hello.
And this is D.S. Alan Gregg.
Alistair.
I just hope I can be of some help. I haven't actually got to the stage of formulating a complete report. I'll need another visit. Oh, you can't get the full picture in an hour.
Well, at least you get to see him. My first sighting is in court.
He's certainly an interesting character.
Thanks, yes, but is he mad or bad?
Oh, he's definitely not insane, in the way required by the Mental Health Act. He's perfectly able to discuss this with his solicitor, of understanding the case when it's put to him. Do you mind?
No, certainly, go ahead.
But as far as the arson business is concerned, there's no doubt he's suffering from a serious psychiatric disorder.
So you would side with the defense psychiatrist, would you?
That's the trouble with an adversarial system. Experts are supposed to take sides. I'm just here to give you my unbiased opinion.
That's why half your reports never see the light of day. So all this stuff stands up, does it? The violence and abuse to which Leach was exposed as a child triggered him in a pathological hatred of authority figures. Slight physical build made him an easy target at school, a nourished sense of inadequacy, homosexual advances. He began to experience a fascination with fire and fire engines. He describes a feeling of sexual excitement. Well, I'm sorry, Tim, but I find it very hard to imagine being turned on by a fire engine.
You see, for Leach, fire has become a way of exercising control, of getting back at a society that's cast him in the role of a victim.
And how does that make him different from your average thug?
Well, the thing about fire, too, is that he may see it as having the power to cleanse.
Are you saying Leach is unfit to plead?
Yes, well, as far as the defence are concerned, unfit to plead is by way of a hot potato, Detective Sergeant Gregg. If it's accepted, it means they're getting their client a one-way ticket to a high-security psychiatric unit. With this lad, they're saying he's not all there, that his mental faculties weren't up to arson with intent to endanger life. A suitable case for treatment.
Not that we can claim to work any miracles, of course.
You must look like miracle workers, Doctor. The devious bastards like Leach. I wonder how this fits into your thesis, Doctor. Or what about this?
Well, get him to borrow a lorry, then. It's done my back in. Just don't bring it back, Viv, all right? Hey, yeah, I'll see you soon, yeah. Bye, Viv. Bye. Irene.
Hello, Tosh.
What can I do you for?
Just brought someone in.
Great.
Second one this week.
You're putting us to shame, you are.
Have to get my statement done. Can't say it's my favourite bit.
All right. Well, you know where the writing room is, then?
Alistair not here, then?
No, he's in conference in chambers.
Really?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long before he's back.
I might just catch him.
Yeah, you just might.
So you think Leach is trying to pull a fast one, do you, Alistair? He's spinning us a line.
I think he went in there to kill the complainant after a quarrel, clouted him with that thing, and then started the fire to finish off the job.
Were there any signs the old man had been beaten up? I hadn't understood there were.
There was a certain amount of contusion on the left side of the temple.
It was actually very noticeable. When we found the baseball bat, it seemed fair.
Haven't we just had a medical report?
They faxed an addendum yesterday. The bruising is perfectly consistent with a contra-coup injury. That is, it was probably caused by the victim falling about. He had consumed his usual 16 pints, according to the backward blood count.
And while consuming his usual 16 pints, he'd also had an argument with Kevin Leach and shoved the Chinese takeaway in his face. I took 3 witness statements. They all confirm it.
The trouble is, they don't agree on what he looked like. The youth in denim who copped the number 37 with bean sprouts is variously described as having a slight, or alternatively rather stocky build, with hair that's anything from reddish to mouse.
In the interview, he admitted he had it in for Robbie.
You told him he had it in for Robbie. All he said was that he didn't like drugs. Do you say you found this under Leach's bed?
Yes, sir.
Doesn't look like it was just fire engines that turned him on, Tim.
Yes, well, as I say, I need another visit.
And when we got this, it was half full of the downstairs window, was it?
All the slivers forensic have tested so far, Matcher.
There's still one in there. Well, it's all a bit iffy, though, isn't it? I mean, we don't have any clear connection between Leach and the old man. No reflection on all your hard graft, officer. Of course, you've done an excellent job.
Thank you, sir. Just feel like months of hard graft went down the drain.
I know, it's too bad. But I'm afraid if all the psychiatrists, including our own, say he's a weirdo, then our guns are well and truly spiked.
If we could prove he clobbered Robbie, then this fire fetish thing wouldn't stand up, would it?
Who knows? I dread arson cases. You can't move or pace.
I felt the right pillock in there.
Oh well, no point getting too involved.
Isn't there?
You soon learn not to take things personally. Forensic wasn't too helpful.
Yeah, well, I've been let down by that bunch before.
Just don't show Nolan you've got a soft spot.
I haven't. I'm just concerned.
Where's the duty brief today, then, Sarge?
Mr. No comment himself.
Cut the time in half.
Right, next.
Just like you to tell me, Mr. Nolan, how the chops got into your shopping bag.
No comment.
You've got an opportunity now to offer an explanation, to give your side of things.
No comment.
This isn't helping you, you know.
That's your opinion, officer.
Look, when I spoke to you in the manager's office, Mr. Nolan, you said, it's like a bad dream. What did you mean by that?
I'd like to answer the question. Well, of course, it's up to you. I mean, the last Tuesday, I got home from work at 5 as usual. Found my daughter had gone. She's always come first with me, my daughter. Ever since she was a little one. She just had to smile. I gave her everything. Worked round the clock. Holidays, nice clothes. I didn't mind. Only it wasn't enough, was it? Because on Tuesday, she left home. There was just a one phone call saying not to worry. It's like asking the Pope not to be a Catholic. Of course, she's 17. Supposed to know their own minds at 17, aren't they? Now it's like she's never been.
Have you
I
contacted...
sit in a room. Those things all round me. Thinking, how did it come to this? Kathy, her name was. Is.
There's a fair chance Sockall have left us a way up. Yeah, there we go. We're in luck.
Floor safe, is it?
Shouldn't think so. That is safe as this case has become.
I think I'll wait here.
Leach came up these stairs. I know he did. It's like I can see him.
I think it's what they call tunnel vision.
Sorry?
You decide someone's guilty, then you try to make the pieces fit.
No. That's not what I'm doing.
Isn't it?
You forget. I spent over 20 hours with Leach.
Just can't see the point in trailing back here.
It's the scene of the crime. It happened here.
Yes, quite.
This case was a good, clean runner. I had it buttoned up. Kevin Leach needs putting away.
You heard what Rush said. We have no clear connection between Leach and the old man.
Why did he say that? What was it? We were just talking about when he said that.
I'm sorry, I'm not with you.
Oh, come on, Graham. What was it in response to? Boy Wonder had just pricked his finger on a piece of glass in Leach's jacket.
From the downstairs window when he broke in.
And there was some bits in old Robbie's clothing too, yeah?
Yes, from this window frame when the fire brigade yanked him through.
You said forensic matched the slivers of glass in Leach's jacket with the window he broke downstairs.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. But the bits of glass on Robbie, we didn't submit those, did we?
Well, why would we?
Well, quite. We weren't trying to make a case against the victim. But if any of the glass on Robbie was from downstairs, it would show proximity between him and Leach.
If.
Yet Leach said he never came up here. We still got Robbie's burned clothing. If we tried it with forensic, could they distinguish between different bits of glass?
The bits are far too small. But I suppose if they were glazed at different times, they might have differential refractive indexes.
So if that could be established, there'd be nothing iffy about the evidence. Would there, Graham?
What?
Well, like maybe his doctor could confirm that he was suffering from stress.
We've got enough to charge him with. That's all it says in pace.
But if we reported him for summons instead of sticking a charge on him today, we could get some background.
Fancy yourself as a bit of a shrink, do you, Ford?
His brief says they'll take it to Crown Court. How much will that cost the taxpayers? A couple of thousand?
Start asking those kind of questions, you'll end up on the funny farm.
So, where's our Mrs. Harris?
Probably putting the final polish to a statement. I bet furtively figures every other line.
It better not.
Don't be too hard on her, Suzanne. She's becoming Sunhill's tame groupie. We don't get that many.
Ah, Alistair. Had a jolly afternoon in Chambers? Clean the chimneys, did you?
Just about.
I thought you might have got caught up in a bit of the older...
They brought the psychos in. The evidence went out the window.
Ah, bad luck.
I have, though, managed to sow a few new seeds, which might give them 2 seconds pause for thought. Not that I'll ever hear, of course.
I won't fancy peering into people's minds myself. Messy business altogether. Oh, most of our lot, you need a pair of rubber gloves.
What's the betting that Graham Woodward doesn't even bother... Ah, Irene.
Hello, Alistair.
Everything all right? Actually, I'd better just check this lot in.
I was making tracks. Yes, hello, Lyons, yes. Yes, he is still here. Yeah. I'll leave you to it then.
Hang on. Hello? Graham? Yeah? Yeah? So what did they say? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you can tell her as soon as she gets in. I mean, I really must talk to her tomorrow as soon as possible. OK, love. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Yeah.
That was Graham. He's checked with forensic. They're going to be able to tell if Leach got close to Robbie by testing the glass in his clothes. He says that the stuff from the upstairs window has got this weird refractive index. I can't believe he rang me.
Oh, very good. Night, Irene.
Sad, really. All she wants is a uniform.
Yeah. And I think she's had a few.
But you must answer to police bail as stated.
Do you want to phone your wife, Mr. Nolan?
No, I just want to get out of here.
But won't she worry? You said you were always home by 5. Why don't we give you a lift?
No, it's okay.
Maybe we could have a chat about your daughter. See if there's anything...
No. Thank you.
WPC Ford is right, sir. We'd really like to help you. Take Mr. Nolan home.
Mrs. Nolan?
Yes?
Oh, it's all right. It's nothing to do with your daughter.
I'm glad you've come. Please come in. This way.
When?
Mum? It's all right, Kathy. You just wait there till I come. It's been going on for years, you see. I mean, he hates his job, the same old thing, day in, day out. He wanted to live dangerously.
You mind?
Well, that was a waste of time.
Persevere. Keep at it.
Man must be on holiday. Either that or he's topped himself.
That's a good way out of it. Maybe they should all top themselves.
Michael. Sit down.
What's happened?
Your request for transfer to the fraud squad has been turned down. I'm sorry, Michael.
Why? I mean...
Well, you made all the right noises, said all the right things by all accounts.
Then why?
You want me to tell you?
Please. Because this is ridiculous.
When a certain chief superintendent is sitting on a selection board wearing a Burton suit, and his subordinate is standing there in a Giorgio Armani number, flashing a moody Cartier timepiece, he starts to think. I mean, if I didn't know you, I'd start to get the wrong messages. You know what I mean?
I'm not a bent copper. You know that.
It's not what the man knows, it's what he thinks. I mean, he's not interested in how many commendations you've got. Doesn't give a damn about all the good work you've done.
I think I'll jack it in.
Don't be stupid. This is your first time. You've got a great future ahead of you. Do you want some advice?
Advice I could do without.
Well, you're going to get it anyhow. At home, I've got an old grey suit. Stinks of mothballs. I hate it. Everybody hates it. My old mum tried to give it away to Oxfam twice. Now, I keep that suit. And do you know what for? Purely for selection boards and funerals. Nothing else. That suit makes a statement about me.
But you have no taste?
You know what I mean.
If that's how their little minds work, they can stick their fraud squad.
Sit down, Michael. Now do yourself a favour. If you want to transfer that bad, sit for promotion. Follow the system. Show them what you're made of, for God's sake.
They come from all over the place. Nothing's safe. Nobody wants to work anymore these days. That's the trouble.
Look, Mr. Raglan, I'm talking about kids, 8, 9 years old.
All they want to do is rob and steal from
Are you
you.
listening to what I'm saying?
They make my life hell. If they're not shoving things through my letterbox, they're setting fire to the dustbins.
Yeah, all right, forget it.
3 times I had to call the brigade out last week.
Okay, thank you for your help.
I ought to get danger money living here. Bloody place.
If you cop a job like this one, Dashes, the fraud squad's the last place you'd want to transfer to. Oh, yeah. Believe me, this one would certainly have turned you on.
Oh, leave it out, will you, Ted? I'm not in the mood.
Harry!
Frank.
Oh,
yeah. Friend of yours?
What's that bastard doing here?
Renewing old acquaintances.
He's not renewing mine, that's for sure.
Why is it that retired coppers always go in for the security? I mean, you'd think after 25 years they'd have had enough.
There's security in security, Frank.
Mayfair. Very impressive.
I want to attract the right clientele.
And what can I do to help?
I see you've still got Roach on your staff.
What would I do without him?
I'd like some assistance, Frank.
What kind of assistance?
I've got a client. He's in communications. Part of a big international group. Now, he's been losing stock over a period of 3 months, and I've identified 2 of the suspects.
T, how you fixed? Oh, come on, don't tell me that lot's going to take you all day.
And tomorrow. And next week as well.
Well, in that case, you can take some time off. I've got a job for you.
No way.
Ted.
Get stuffed.
My office. Don't you ever speak to me like that again.
I object to that man's presence in the nick.
I don't give a monkey's what you object to. Harry Hopwood is well respected in and out of the force. A reputation that will outlast yours. Unless, of course, you know something different.
What's with you and Ted Roach?
You noticed?
Notice? I couldn't miss it.
When I was commander of the murder squad, Roach was seconded into my team. He felt he knew more than my investigating officers. The job is full of people who think they've been hard done by, and Roach is no exception. Hope this isn't going to take too long.
Now, you listen to me, Ted. Either you do as I tell you, or I'll have you.
Oh, yeah?
Try me.
We, might do business together. I've helped quite a few young officers who've become disenchanted with the job.
What makes you think I've become disenchanted?
So, what time would you like Sergeant Roach to accompany you in the morning?
It's grass. I mean grass, not grass.
Cuttings?
Freshly mown.
Washing powder?
Flour. Well, it was when I used to bake cakes.
You're right. And you thought they were playing shops?
I couldn't believe it. Kids of that age. And whatever happened to Ring a Roses? You have a look at this. Crack, 25p. Coke, 30p. Smack... I mean, it's a great list of it here. Even a VAT man wouldn't expect bookkeeping as immaculate as this. My mum used to think the Rolling Stones were a threat.
Dates? Places? It's just like a...
Exactly like a genuine drug-dealing operation.
Values have changed, haven't they? 55p, crack.
Yeah, well, maybe that's all the kids on the block can afford. Perhaps muggings on the estate have taken a nosedive this week.
No names, addresses.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by it being genuine. You see, the rest of the book is full of the normal sort of drawings that kids do.
Hey, Ted, you can't dump this on me.
It's just a couple of inquiries while I'm off it.
Oh, come on, I don't know anything about this job.
You said you wanted to be a candidate for the fraud squad? Now's your chance. If anybody wants me, I'm down the pub.
We're very busy, Miss Ackland. You couldn't have picked a worse time. There's 3 staff off with
I
flu
won't
and
take up much of your time, Miss Sparks. I just want to establish who the lunchbox belongs to.
Can't you come back after school? It would suit better.
Well, not for me, I'm afraid. I'll be off duty then.
All right for some.
Look, if you could simply tell me which children were absent from school this morning, that would at least narrow down the field a little.
You'll have to wait. I need to ask.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he was quite famous, wasn't he?
You could say that, yeah.
Hey! How many portions of shepherd's pie did we have left over from yesterday?
6, and there's 2 quiche.
Sorry about that, Ted. Yeah. Solved a lot of big murder cases. Always had his name in the papers.
There are 2 kinds of copper I detest, Joe. There are those who spend all their time studying to pass exams, and those who keep you under the thumb because it suits their careers.
And this bloke Upward?
The worst kind. Guilty of both.
Where is he, Michael? Get him back here. Now.
You know, I've seen him come and I've seen him go. But without a doubt, you are the most bitter and twisted old Bill I've ever come across. I've got to be straight with you, Ted.
Takes practice, and I've had plenty.
No? Yes. Hang on. It's for you. So, what can I do for you, sir?
Yeah.
Ted, are you there?
What do you want?
Burnside wants you back here now, Ted. This is serious. Come on, Ted, stop.
I've taken advice, Miss Ackland, and I'm afraid I can't help you. School policy.
Oh, what a pity.
It's a very sensitive area. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, of course. I was just admiring these drawings. You certainly have a few budding artists here.
Oh, yes, some are quite good.
You know, It's funny, when I was a kid, I always used to draw these quaint little cottages, you know, blue sky, smoke billowing out of the chimney. I suppose it was the kind of nice little home I wanted when I grew up. Out in the country, bluebells, all that.
Yes, well.
Now that kid knows what he wants.
Oh, Lewis.
Lewis?
Lewis Boosie. Yes, he wants to be a racing driver.
No kidding. Well, thank you for your help, Miss Sparks, and I'm sorry to have troubled you when you're so busy. Thank you.
Miss Ackland.
Yes?
You did right.
Right?
Joining the police force.
Ah, yeah. Well, I forgot to mention, that little house I used to draw when I was a kid used to have a little blue and white police car parked in the driveway.
Where have you been?
Working.
You've been drinking?
Working.
I can smell it.
Check with the charge room if you don't believe me.
Tell me about it. If it's not too much trouble.
Just pick up the phone. You'll find I've nicked a little Italian with 300 counterfeit gold watches. And if it's all right with you, I'm going to go downstairs and sort it out.
Boosie. Name rings a bell. Here. Lucinda Boosie, 18 Buckhampton House.
We need a plan of the estate.
There's no Mr. Boosie, though. We're not registered anyway.
Well, perhaps he's doing a long one, guest of Her Majesty.
Yeah, check it out in LIO. If I remember rightly, we busted him. If it is him, I'll arrange for a search warrant and we'll do it first thing tomorrow, all right?
Yeah, OK.
The driver has 8 deliveries. The first one is on this side of the river.
Why am I sat here with you, Hopwood?
What are you talking about?
Why should the top man of an alleged upmarket security company be sitting here on a grotty industrial estate with a mere sergeant from the local Nick?
Because I want to see the job done correctly.
A job that you can't afford to go wrong.
I need to impress the parent company.
And if it does go wrong, you blame me. You never change, Hopwood. I can read you like a book.
And you're too cynical. Do you know that, Roach?
Is that the right way around? Yeah. That's isn't it? Yeah. Must be it. Right. Whistle you up if I need you, Dave.
Right, Sarge.
Aren't you interested in why I chose you? Because you're a good thief catcher, Roach.
Oh, yeah? Don't give me that.
And I have plans for my business.
I was a good thief catcher 15 years ago, Hopwood. But you never noticed. Or you chose to ignore it.
Eventually, I want to go further up market. Offer my clients an international service. I plan to have offices in New York, Paris, Rome.
I'm impressed.
Well, so you should be. My company will be staffed mainly by former policemen and ex-military types. Men of experience, like yourself.
Are you offering me a job?
I will need a few good contacts.
So you want to put me in your pocket? You think you can arrange everything, don't you, Hopwood? You just flash a credit card and it's all there. Even a clear conscience.
What are you talking about?
I am talking about the suicide of an innocent man that you put away for murder. And that's a fact, Hopwood.
That's him, Louis!
You know the trouble with you, Roach? You're an idealist. A fatuous idealist. The hardest job I had with you was getting your head out of the clouds. You should learn something, Roach. People who spend their lives tilting at windmills end up by losing out.
Maybe they do, but they still sleep at night.
You think I can't?
Is that your man?
That's him, but not too soon. Don't let him have his head either.
Let's get one thing straight, Hopwood. I'm in charge here, not you.
Come on!
please, open the door. Mrs. Boosie, I have a warrant to search this flat. If you do not open the door, I will break it down. Thank you.
He takes this shortcut to the flyover, and his first delivery is about 3 miles on.
You want to bet?
Well, this is definitely not on his schedule. What are you doing?
He's not going anywhere, unless it's for a swim.
What do you mean?
Check the location. It's a dead end. I'll be back shortly.
I suggest we get some assistance. Roach! Damn him.
This is a drugs warrant signed by a magistrate. It's your copy.
There's no drugs in this flat.
There has been in the past.
Nothing to do with me.
The fellow you used to live with was a bit naughty where drugs were concerned.
He's paying the price, isn't he?
Can we have a look around?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Can we get this over as quickly as possible? I've got work to do.
Do you work, Mrs. Boosie? Outside work?
I clean at the old people's home in Fanshawe Road.
Can't be easy bringing up a kid on your own.
I'll get by.
Your fella?
Yes.
Pushing heroin on the estate, wasn't it?
He was tried and found guilty, if that's what you mean. But then you already know that.
Who's taking his place?
I don't know what you mean.
Come on, someone must have stepped into his shoes.
Those are personal.
Nothing's personal when it comes to drugs.
They've already been read by prison officers. You must really enjoy your job.
It has its rewards.
Finished?
Just about.
I've got a lunchbox back at the station.
Satisfied?
Belonging to you.
Not entirely.
Oh, yes, it does. It belongs to you.
What about the people you used to knock about with?
I don't know what you're talking about. I keep myself by myself.
The state drug pushes Avon, and you know.
Who told you there were drugs in here?
Information received.
That's what you people always say.
Finished?
Sure you don't want to take up the floorboards?
If you had any floorboards, we wouldn't have hesitated.
Then please leave and let's get on with our life. Okay?
Why do they always keep books, eh?
Old habits die hard.
I don't suppose you'd believe me if I say they weren't mine.
You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so.
What do you mean, assistance? Where's Ted? Yes, I know where you are. Where's Ted? Mike Dashwood. Yeah, I want you to send a couple of cars to Driver's Wharf.
What do you think you're doing, mate?
Oh, easy, boy. Easy, boy.
Penny, we got a trespasser!
You're making a mistake.
Right, Ted, we're good.
If Hopwood hadn't phoned for assistance, you'd be a candidate for intensive care. You owe the man a lot, Ted.
If you believe that, you believe anything.
Oh, come off it, Ted. The man got you out of a mess.
Who are you kidding? He's protecting his own interests. He doesn't give a damn about me, about you, about anybody. Believe me, I know the man better than any of you.
You're an ungrateful bastard. Do you know that, Ted? Anyway, if you'd had a transfer to the fraud squad, Michael, you'd have missed all this excitement.
You reckon, Gov?
You'd have been sitting in a lonely little office surrounded by mountains of paperwork, wouldn't he, Ted?
You are joking.
Excuse me.
It's the least I could do.
Well, that is very civil of you, Harry. Thank you. Ted, you got some glasses in your drawer?
Aren't you having one?
Home sweet home.
You're funny.
He who laughs last, that's what I say.
Come on. Well, do you know what I'll say?
What's that then?
Well, if you want to look a prat,
Wear a stupid hat.
You've heard it.
Afraid so.
All right, girls, can't keep you away from the place. Coming up for coffee,
No thanks, in here. I'm cutting down.
What are you doing this time?
Playing slot machines.
Again? You know you're in breach of your pay.
Well, I am a naughty girl.
Sorry to keep wasting your time.
Yeah, well, we have got better things to do. Return 9:10 a.m.
Any more problems, Mr. Walsh, just give us a call.
Just hang on to her this time. Because if I find she's absconded again, I'll lock her up.
Ooh, can't wait. Have me phone number as well if you like.
Sierra Oscar from 340.
Go ahead, Dave.
We're leaving Milford Court now, son. I don't believe it! Why didn't you hold on to her?
It's not that easy.
Mr. Walsh, I think she's dead. It's Caroline. She's dead. She's dead.
Caroline, is it?
Yeah. Tracy found her. Sierra Oscar from 487. We need an ambulance at Milford Court urgent.
Open that.
There's a young
You give
girl
me a
who's
hand now.
collapsed
Where?
and
Just on the
unconscious.
floor.
Looks like an Couldn't overdose. been around.
Is
What
she
do you
breathing?
think has she taken? I don't know. I didn't even know she had them.
Milford Court.
Residential home.
Kathy Marshall's there with Quinnan. Looks like suicide.
Sign this.
Yeah, answer that, will you? The divisional surgeon's with them.
Get someone from CID.
Well, Alice Greg's there. Was in the area.
Right, I'm on my way over.
Do you want her moving?
No. No, they'll all want to take a look at her.
Anything suspicious?
No sign of a forced entry. Nothing disturbed. It's a suicide.
Who's next door?
Young girl named Taylor.
Morning, Inspector. She is dead, at the risk of stating the obvious. Overdose of these things early hours of this morning. She's been dead for several hours. It's a possible respiratory arrest. It'll be in my report. Post-mortem.
Did you search the body?
Yes, nothing suspicious.
She left a note.
Isn't life fun?
Not when you're that age.
When was she found?
Well, it was about 9:10, just as we were leaving. We heard a shout, went back in. She was unconscious and we found her. Kath called for an ambulance and I tried to resuscitate her, but she was already dead.
You did your best. Witnesses?
Tracy, who found her. The care officer hadn't seen her since the night before, and both the rooms up the corridor are empty.
What about the other room?
Anne-Marie Taylor says she was asleep.
I want to interview everyone, including the kids, starting with her. Obviously, I'll need you with me for that.
Sir.
I'll search the room now. Oh, Quinnan, you round people up before they start drifting off. We'll use the common room. Any questions?
No.
Quinnan, job for you.
I've got the Taylor girl in the common room, sir.
Caroline kept a diary. I want you to read it, find out if she was unhappy or upset about anything. 5 minutes, then start bringing the rest down, okay?
Right, sir.
Alistair, you're going to talk to some of these girls, yes?
Yes,
Sir. First go down the corridor for you.
How is she?
Bit spiky. She's not very forthcoming, I'm afraid. Still to be expected, I suppose.
See you back at the station, Alistair.
Yeah, hang on.
She's in here, sir.
What's her first name again?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie.
Yes?
I need to talk to you about Caroline. You have the room next to hers.
Yeah, I was asleep.
You didn't hear anything unusual?
No.
When did you last see her?
Yesterday.
Did you speak to her at all?
Probably.
Oh, you weren't friends?
She didn't fit in. Needed looking after, didn't she?
Oh, why didn't she fit in?
Not your average slag, was she? I mean, you've got to be thick or a slag to get on in this place. She didn't have what it takes.
Have you any idea why she...
What, she killed herself? Like I said, she didn't have what it takes. Look, nothing personal, but every time you lot are around, there's always something wrong.
Anne! She's all right when she's not upset. Paul Walsh.
Inspector Monroe. Anne-Marie says that Caroline didn't fit in. Is that true?
I suppose it is, yeah.
Well, why was she here?
Caroline made an allegation of sexual assault.
Against whom?
Her father and the residential social worker in her previous home. While they sorted that one out, she was transferred over here. When he'd finished, it was decided she should stay.
Where's the man now?
It was a she. She resigned after she was cleared.
When was this?
3 months ago.
And when was the alleged assault by her father?
2 years ago. The family had a history of problems and support. Caroline was 11 when it happened. The original order for custody was issued when Caroline first made the accusation against her father.
And what was the outcome?
Nothing was proved, and dear old Daddy didn't want her back. Typical. She gets the courage up to say something about the assault and ends up in care, permanent.
When she makes another allegation?
It happens. Cry for help?
Did you see Caroline last night?
No, Ros was with her.
And Rosalind Fisk?
The residential social worker. She spent a lot of time with Caroline.
Can you think of any reason why Caroline might kill herself?
Dozens.
And she was being abused?
Not while she was in care.
By her father?
Definitely, between me and you.
Rosalind Fisk, sir.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Walsh. I'll speak to you later.
Pleasure.
Mrs. Fisk, Mr. Walsh tells me that you knew Caroline well.
I like to think I know all of the girls well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to...
It's okay. This wasn't the best home for her, mixing with kids like Lynn Corby. But there was nowhere else for her to go. We tried finding her another place, but there just aren't any places.
Was she having problems?
No, she was coping quite well. A lot of the girls here are waiting for trial, too young for bail hostels. Places like this aren't meant for kids like Caroline.
But there was a problem.
She was a victim, not a young offender.
Before this morning, when did you last see her?
Last night, about 9 o'clock, in the kitchen, she was making a cup of tea.
How did she seem?
Well, I only saw her for a minute. She came in as I was on my way out. She said she was going to bed, and I said something like, "You were early." And she said she fancied an early night. She seemed a bit down, so I asked her if anything was the matter, and she said she was just tired.
And she was on her own?
No, as I came out, one of the girls came in behind me.
Who?
Lynn Corby.
And did she speak to Lynn Corby?
She must have, but I didn't hear.
And you didn't see either of them again?
No, when I went back into the kitchen, they'd both gone.
Where's Lynn Corby now?
Well, that's the problem. We can't hold on to her. She keeps absconding.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisk. She is probably the last person to see Caroline Bennett alive, Lynn Corby.
Yeah, I brought her back this morning.
Where is she now?
She absconded again, sir.
When?
Just as I brought her back. They can't hold on to her.
Well, where's she gone? Home?
No. City centre, definitely.
But you can find her?
No problem. Wherever there's a slot machine.
Pick your own banana. Pick your own papaya.
They're still alive with that village garden. With that village garden now, fresh and live stretch. We've got here today, they're all alive here. Where are you then? We've got them here.
Lovely, some on the right mash here today.
You two, out. Come on, you're underage. Come on. Well, I've told you two before. She done a runner?
How'd you guess?
Shame being back here.
Where's she live?
Jasmine Alley.
Oh, can you spare a moment, Mr. Walsh?
I was just going to... Inspector Monroe, can
Yes?
I see you for a moment in private? It is important. I'm Margaret Randall, Assistant Director of Social Services. 5 minutes, Paul, all right? been asked to come down because of Caroline's death. Is it true that you're treating it as suspicious?
It's a routine inquiry.
So it's just a matter of procedure?
Yes.
I need to know because Paul has just handed me his resignation.
Well, because of this morning?
Pressure, which means me. Of course there has to be an internal inquiry. To put it bluntly, I have to find out whether the death was due to Paul's negligence.
Is that a possibility?
No, I'm certain it isn't, but I do need to talk to him. I want to sort this out before the press get here. A resignation is just what they'll be looking for.
I need to see him.
I don't want him put under any more strain.
I'm here to investigate the circumstances of a death, Mrs. Randall.
Could you just give me a short time?
No.
Well, I did my best.
Mrs. Randall, wouldn't this normally be handled by Mr. Walsh's principal officer, rather than yourself?
Shortage of staff. He finds it rather difficult to be in 6 places at once.
We haven't seen the mother and the child's in care. So what now?
Caroline had a boyfriend.
Yeah?
Yeah, Mike. Well, according to this, he took her to Spain with him twice.
She was in care.
Well, yeah, I know. But that's what it says here.
Mr. Monroe, it's about Caroline. We had a break-in here last week. Somebody went through the offices. Didn't take much. I think they took some money. But the point is now, I don't know if this is any use. When Caroline found out, she went berserk. Absolutely berserk.
Did she say anything in particular?
Well, not really. She was very upset. I couldn't find out what it was all about.
And you've no idea why?
No, I'm sorry.
When was this?
This was last Saturday night sometime. I found out about it because when I came in on early, Paul was clearing up.
Paul Walsh?
Yes, his was one of the offices they went into.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Fisk. Sierra Oscar from Monroe.
Sierra Oscar.
I want some information on a break-in at Milford Court, Alec.
Understood.
Took her out a lot.
Who?
This bloke, Mike. Dancing, art galleries, opera. Sounds like a right ponce.
You know your trouble, Dave. You're too sensitive.
Yeah, I know. And sophisticated. Only took her to Wales. They rented a cottage. She had a better time than I do.
How old is he?
I don't know. Doesn't say. Why?
Sounds like an older man, that's all.
Nothing.
No, sir. No reported break-in at Milford Court.
Oh, there's someone here who says there was one a week ago.
They didn't report it. Not to us, anyway.
OK, thanks, Alec.
You know the break-in Saturday night?
Yes.
It was one of the kids. They've done it before.
Who?
I don't know which one.
Why wasn't it reported?
If it's one of the kids, what's the point?
A crime had been committed.
They've all committed crimes. Most of them are here on bail.
So we can't investigate?
You haven't got the consent you need. Look, they're anti. You've seen that this morning.
So just because a few people don't like us, you're saying this is a no-go area?
No, it's not like that.
So what is it like?
It's like one of your boys bringing a girl back 3 times in 1 week. It's like here, walking in, turning around and walking straight back out again. I can't hold on to it. He's sick of it because he knows that next time he brings her back, she will do exactly the same, and there's nothing that either of us can do about it. It's me not bothering to call you because we've both got better things to do, and I'm sick of it. Look, I'm sorry. Don't quote me, but it's this morning. I've had enough. I've offered me resignation.
I know.
I can't even do that without arguing. The break-in happened sometime Saturday night.
And what was taken, Mr. Walsh?
Cash box and my calculator.
Any files?
No, they're locked away.
And no files were looked at? Caroline Bennett's, for example?
No.
Did Lynn Corby have anything to do with it?
Lynn? Could be. I don't know. Could be just about anyone. That's the problem.
Look, even if she was seeing this bloke, she couldn't have gone on holiday with him because she was here. A bit of a blank on Corby, sir.
Not at the house?
No, nor the arcade.
Oh, Mr. Walsh has just confirmed that she may have been involved in a break-in here.
Well, that might explain it. You can normally find her in half an hour.
In the diary, Caroline mentioned someone called Mike. Well, we think she may have been seeing a man. She claims they went on holiday together.
Sierra Oscar to Inspector Monroe.
Go ahead.
The Chief Super's asking for you, sir. He wants to speak to you in person. Urgent.
Yeah, tell him I'm on my way. Rosalind Fisk. Check with her to see if Caroline was away, then go back to the house. We might just be lucky.
I think Lynn's hopped it. What's the matter, Mrs. Fisk?
I found these. Caroline.
Where?
Lynn Corby's room.
Sierra Oscar from 487.
Andrew?
About Caroline Bennett, sir.
I thought that was a straightforward report to the coroner. Could
I
have two
failed to
copies of that
locate
one?
the last person to see the girl alive, sir. I also want more information about a break-in which was left unreported at the home. There are a number of matters still to be cleared up.
Yes, I just had a phone call from the Assistant Director of Social Services.
Margaret Randall?
Apparently you interviewed her earlier this morning, is that right?
In point of fact, sir, she interviewed me.
Cordially?
We had a frank exchange of views. She voiced a number of concerns about the situation.
Such as?
She's conducting an internal inquiry into the running of the home. The officer in charge has resigned, and she was anxious that this would give rise to unnecessary speculation and media interest, which she wanted to avoid. In the circumstance, one can understand her anxiety.
Yes, well, she's coming to see me later on this morning. Apparently the dead girl's father's going to talk to the press. I'll phone you if I need you.
She certainly talks about this Mike quite a lot. You see, this holiday last year's a nonsense. She was here. Mike has to be a fantasy. She was scared stiff of boys, couldn't speak to them.
Yeah, she could certainly write about them, though.
She had quite a literary mind. She was very bright.
Kath.
Snapshots. On the imaginary holiday, she talks about Mike taking snapshots.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Any progress?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. We've just found a load more photographs. They're all hardcore stuff. And the diary talks about this bloke Mike taking snapshots, photographs. Mrs. Fisk thinks Caroline's talking about the photographs.
I want Colby. Bring her in.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Number 4.
Yep. Look, I'm going to check the garages, all right?
Are they in?
Out.
Come on, then.
Get dressed and don't be stupid.
I'll say you rip this off.
Kath.
I will not have my officers dragged into the political arena.
But there are political implications.
Which do not concern the police.
Look, we need help, not hindrance. 4 newspapers have telephoned my office this morning. It's bad publicity.
Yes, and we have told them it's a routine investigation. Now, that is the best we can do.
But this search makes it look like a major scandal. Obviously, the press are now convinced that we've got something to hide.
Press speculation is not my concern, Mrs. Randall.
Well, it should be. The multi-agency approach is supposed to be us working together.
Well, this is hardly a matter of community policing now, is it?
Oh, it's an isolated incident. And the last thing we need is a hostile press making the public even more unsympathetic.
We have to learn to deal with a hostile press now, don't we?
Do you know how much mileage the opposition group will make out of this? If they get elected, they will just use it as an excuse to make more cuts. And then you can forget about the multi-agency approach, because we simply won't exist.
I am not concerned with party politics. Now, look, my officers were acting on the instructions of the coroner. Yes, come in. Oh, Andrew, you've met Mrs. Randall. Now, look, my officers were acting on the instructions of the coroner. They found evidence germane to a police inquiry. Now, my officers are going to carry that inquiry to its logical conclusion, regardless of the political implications.
We discovered a photograph of the dead girl. We have reason to believe it may be connected with someone at the home.
I had absolutely no idea.
There was a break-in at the home a week ago. We think that this may be connected with Lynn Corby's disappearance, and that both events are linked to Caroline Bennett's suicide.
Well, clearly it's out of my hands.
So we got suspicion of theft.
And these such.
All right, yeah. Hey, get this under control. Get it under control. You couldn't get it printed, right? You will be interviewed by a police officer. You will have a social worker present. You are entitled to a solicitor. Do you understand? Go on. All right, next. Hey, let's have those three over here.
Hi, Sarge. How you doing, babes?
What's it, 9 degrees?
I've told you already, no!
So you don't remember where you got the cash box?
No!
Calculator?
No!
Well, what about the camera?
What camera?
Don't play around. This!
Someone give it to me.
And did this someone have a name?
I can't remember. I don't know them properly.
So someone you don't know said, here, have this camera, and you took it?
They told me to look after it for them.
Yeah, along with these negatives.
I don't even know about them.
Interview interrupted by WPC Marshal at 12:46 p.m.
Lynn Corby. Theft, obtaining through deception and an impending court appearance. She was bailed to Milford Court.
Demanding money with menaces.
In court next week.
Interview recommenced at 12:47 p.m. Are they yours, Lynn?
What do you think I am?
I want to know who took them. Was it you?
You're sick! I want to get out of here.
No, you can't now.
Where did you get them? Who's it going to be this time?
What?
The blackmail! Come on, let's be honest. If you didn't take them, someone else did and you found out about it. I want the name. Caroline's. It tells us that the photographs were taken by a man, someone she knew, someone she liked, trusted. Mike. Oh, we don't think that's his real name. There was a break-in. The office. Is that where you got the camera? From the same drawer as the cash box? And these? Were you blackmailing her?
Don't be stupid! I was blackmailing him.
Mr. Walsh.
Just take a seat there, please.
Hey, what's the difference between a paedophile and a greyhound?
Young? You keep that for the canteen. Right, you.
Why did I choose Caroline? She was quiet. Struck me as the kind of kid who wouldn't object. Seemed she was less likely to report me.
She reported her father and made an allegation against a social worker.
Look where it got her. I wanted her to cooperate. I didn't use force. Just started spending time with her, talking to her, paying her special attention.
Just her?
Yeah, there was just Caroline. It made her feel wanted. It's easy if you don't have a happy home life, or if you've been abused before.
What did you do?
Accidental contact. I'd bang into her, accidentally at first. She didn't object, so I carried on. See if she'd react. Testing her out. She didn't object, so I carried on. Started isolating her from the others. I shouldn't have taken the photographs. I knew that was a mistake. Then when they went missing...
Where?
My flat. She didn't mind the head and shoulders. Then, when I suggested the others, she was too far in to say no.
Who was Mike, Mr. Walsh?
Caroline's Mr. Right.
Make yourself useful, Reg. Nip round the corner to Ellis and buy a couple of Sundays.
Yeah, you know what'll happen.
171 from Sierra Oscar.
Yeah, 171, go ahead.
Any movement, Reg?
That's quite as a grave down here, Sarge.
I'll tell you what, you go, I'll pay.
I'd just rather be out there myself, that's all.
It's a pity the drug squad didn't round up the addicts along with the pushers.
Sunhill Police? Sarge, it's Dr. Kelly. She's had an emergency house call from the Blackfield estate.
Yep. Dr. Kelly, yes, Sergeant Peters. Can you give me an address, please?
595 from Sierra Oscar. Tony, we have a possible fake emergency call. Mrs. Elsie Besant, flat 105, Coniston House, Blackfield Estate. 171, you got that?
Yeah, got that, Sarge, yeah.
I'm on my way to the observation position.
Yeah, OK, Tony. I'll be on the third floor balcony.
Come on, Reg, didn't you have your PR?
Yeah, all right, just coming, Steady on, Dave. There. She should have waited for us.
Try telling her that.
Now what?
340 from Sierra Oscar. Location, please. Are you two awake?
340 receiving. We're at the corner of Greenfriars Road and Cooper Street.
We have Dr. Kelly's car in sight, sir.
Well, don't lose her. I don't want another doctor in intensive care.
You'll have us for breakfast, Dave. I mean, the thing is...
You can be a right old woman at times, Reg, you know that.
Yeah, but look, if I was...
Look,
I mean...
we know where she's going, right? All we got to do is get there before she does. Yes?
Dave!
Tony, her car's in sight. 171 from 643. What's your position, Reg?
I could have sworn it was over this side. Yeah, I know.
Reg!
Oh, 643 from 171. June, we're round by Windermere. I knew it!
Wrong side, Reg. You want to come in by Kendall Road.
And get a move on, Reg.
See that, June?
Yeah, I hope she doesn't hang around.
Find out what's going on.
Yes, sir. 171 from Sierra Oscar.
Report your position, 171.
Hey, mate, do you know which block is Coniston? And you, pal.
Go, June, go!
Peace! You all right?
643 from Sierra Oscar.
Yeah, in pursuit of suspects.
And no backup. Where are they?
They're just not answering, sir.
Well, call them again.
Yes, sir. 340 from Sierra Oscar.
You all right?
What does it look like?
Let me give you a hand, yeah.
Thanks. Want it done properly.
Brilliant! Oh, it's an unavoidable delay here, Tony, June.
643 from Sierra Oscar. Report situation.
Yeah, the suspect's got away. Dr. Kelly's okay, though.
Marvellous.
Right. I want all of you back at the station now.
There's nothing I like better than spending my Sundays watching the police make a pig's ear of things.
Who was the woman you were talking to, Doctor?
That was Mrs. Besant.
Oh.
She didn't know anything about the call, then?
Does she look like an emergency case?
Well, I hope you two have got your story straight and leave us out of it, right?
Well, it could have happened to anyone,
Oh,
Tony.
drive too fast for you, did she?
I don't blame you for wetting yourself, Reg. Marion's grabbed your guts for garters.
No, it wasn't me. It was him. I went round the corner to the newspaper.
Fine, Reg, fine. You can explain it. Sierra Oscar from 643.
Yes, June?
Look, Mrs. Besant was there during the attack. Maybe Tony and I should go and have a talk to her before we come back.
Nice one, June. Very nice.
OK, get back as soon as you're free, and don't make a meal of it.
But tell Quinnan and Hollis I want them back here now.
Yes, sir.
And tell them they'd better not get lost this time.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in Marilyn's office when those two get back.
Yeah? PC Stamp and Ackland, Sun Hill. Can we talk to Mrs. Besant?
Oh, that boy of us escaped, has he?
What?
Nigel Besant.
You better don't come back here because they...
No, he hasn't escaped. Not as far as we know.
Look, can we come in? We do need to talk to Mrs. Besant.
It's next door.
Oh, right.
What, she in trouble again? Well, it's a shame they don't leave her alone. I mean, it wasn't her fault what her boy did.
What kind of trouble?
June.
Well, break windows, steal things, spit on her. You see that Mrs. Walker he killed? Everyone liked her. Now they're after her. But what could she do? The boy, well,
How long's this been going on?
since the boy been arrested? A year, maybe.
Have you seen these things happening?
I ain't seen nothing.
Oh, come on. You only live right next door.
Look, lady, I have to keep on living here, all right?
Thanks.
Mrs. Besant,
Yes.
we're police officers. Remember us? We were downstairs just now. I'd like to have a quiet word.
No, if you get the mixture right, it'll run smooth.
You'll be lucky.
Be much longer? Yeah, a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and the rest.
Been a bit of bother then?
I'm sorry. I spoke to Dr. Kelly. It wasn't me.
What wasn't no?
I didn't call her.
No, we know that, Mrs. Besant.
It was probably...
Probably who?
Same people as always do these things.
Look, we've been talking to the man next door. We know the people on the estate have been giving you a hard time since your son was convicted. Can you tell us who they are?
It's just kids, isn't it? Can't blame them, can you?
The call to the doctor was a hoax, Mrs. Besant. It was addicts wanting to steal drugs from her. Any idea why they used your name?
They all know my name round here, don't they?
Anyone in particular you can think of?
Do you have any other family, Mrs. Besant?
I've got a daughter and a son.
Well, don't they help at all?
They've got their own lives.
What about social services? Have you tried them?
I don't like troubling people.
That's what they're there for, Mrs. Besant.
Look, love. The two who tried to snatch the doctor's bag, do you know them?
Are they from the estate?
It was all so quick.
It's all right, Mrs. Besant. It's all right. Is there anyone on the estate that you can talk to?
Because of Nigel, what he done, they don't talk to me around here no more. They all think I'm, I don't know, evil, I suppose.
But you're not responsible for what your son did. Well, you've done nothing wrong.
I gave him life.
You can't leave it alone, can you?
What's that supposed to mean?
We're not nursemaids, are we?
So we shouldn't care about people, is that what you're saying?
We should concentrate on the job at hand, catching villains. Her problems are not down to us.
Oh, you can be a heartless sod at times.
Give me a break, June. What are social services for?
Oh, come on, Tony. Social services are up to their eyes in it. She won't ask for help.
She doesn't want help. She knows these morons who are given a hassle. She could have given us names. Maybe a lead on the two who jumped Dr. Kelly.
You really don't get it, do you? She discovers her son is a murderer. Can you imagine what that must be like? And she thinks it's her fault.
Well, it is her fault. Partly. Do you think people are born murderers? If you're a parent, you've got to take some of the blame.
Oh, and you'd know, wouldn't you?
01 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Sierra 1 received, Sarge.
Brownlow's Chemist, Fortune Road. Suspects on premises.
On the way.
Yeah, it's just round the corner. I'll be back, Harry.
Is this milk shut? Come on, Reg. Get stuffed.
I shouldn't have listened to you, Dave. My instincts
Shut
told
it,
me-
Reg.
Here, listen. We should stand our ground. We shouldn't let him walk all over us.
Come in.
You check the front, I'll take the back. Barry, round the back. Relax, sunshine. You're nicked. Let him go, man. He's sick. Pull him up, Barry. He's trying it on.
I'll send one of our guys with you. All right. Do you want to go with him?
OK, Barry.
Cheers.
What did he say?
He reckons it's a reaction to some sort of mixture of drugs. They must be pretty desperate to try and knock over a chemist in broad daylight.
They're all desperate, mate. Since Drug Squad cleared this manor out, you'll be lucky to find a spare aspirin out on the street.
Good result for a Sunday morning.
Oh, stuff him.
You shouldn't let it bother you, Dave.
Well, he won't be happy until I'm out of the job.
I thought he was all right myself.
That's because he was too busy jumping up and down on me to bother with you. You could have given me a bit more support, Reg.
What did I say?
Oh, not much. That was the problem.
I told the story, didn't I? Like we agreed.
Oh, yeah.
And he accepted it. Well, most of it.
Reg, he didn't believe a single word.
Dave, you'll give yourself ulcers, mate. You take it all too personal. That's your trouble. Look, OK, so we took a rollicking. He rollicks us, Brownlow rollicks him, the DAC rollicks Brownlow. You just have to get used to it. That's the way it is. It's known as a pecking order.
Yeah, well, I haven't got much option, have I?
Look, what we need now is a way to restore our credibility.
Reg, as far as Monroe's concerned, you and I never had any to start with.
Brownie points for this, mate. Here, you've been a bit slow out with starting blocks, Tony.
Why don't you go play with yourself?
I'd love to. Too busy clearing up the mess you left. Got a body for screwing a chemist.
Gave himself up, did he?
Instant response, chase and arrest. Caught with the goodies on him.
If you'd have got the Blackfield estate over, you wouldn't be crowing now.
Yeah, you might have known Dave and Reg would stuff it up.
Great come from someone who wrote off an area car.
Just the one, mate.
Come in.
Dr. Kelly for you, sir.
Ah, thanks for coming in, Doctor.
No problem. If I get any more than 20 minutes rest at a time, I just get cranky.
Please sit down.
No thanks, I'll stand. This won't take long.
I thought we should talk.
That we should.
About the operation this morning.
I'd hardly call it an operation. More a total, unmitigated disaster.
It's true things didn't go exactly as planned.
Planned? I saw no evidence of planning. Complete chaos, more like.
Look, I take full responsibility for what happened.
So you should. Only 2 officers on an estate the size of Blackfield, both too far away from the action to be of any use, and a backup car that arrived just in time to deliver the Sunday papers. Brilliant.
I have spoken to the officers concerned.
Couldn't you have come up with a plan that was a bit more flexible? I'm sure I could if I had the time. Look, you need at least 1 more car on the estate as well as the backup car.
In an ideal world, yes. We simply don't have the resources.
Please don't talk to me about resources. I have 5,000 patients and a partner in intensive care.
Point taken. Now, can I make a suggestion? For the moment, I think you shouldn't attend any emergency calls until we've checked out the address first.
Great thinking, Inspector. Even supposing you can find the manpower you say you don't have, what about my patients? They're in urgent need of medical help, and what do they get? A policeman asking them questions? No, thanks.
It's for your protection.
Look, if you want to protect me, then start doing your job properly, and we won't have a problem. If I ran my practice the way you run this station, half my patients would be dead by now.
I really think you should...
Sorry, I haven't time for any more of this. Look, all I need from you is efficient protection so that I can get on with my job. It's not too much to ask. Is it?
Dr. Kelly. June, could you show Dr. Kelly to the front door, please? I trust you'll continue to report all emergency house calls.
Haven't I so far?
Did you know about Mrs. Besant's son?
Yeah, about a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, have you seen her recently?
I'm sure I must have done. She has a back problem.
She seems very low. Is there anything you could do for her?
I'm not a psychiatrist. I did what I could for her at the time.
Put her on tranquilizers, I suppose.
What did you do? Half the people on the estate suffer from depression, and I don't have time to counsel them. Especially not with this new contract system. I'm too busy screening healthy people. Have you got time to help these people?
Not really, no.
Nor have I. I do what I can.
Oh, sir, can I have a quick word?
I'm busy, Hollis. Why aren't you?
Oh, it's just having an idea, sir.
Oh, you've got proof of ownership.
Sir?
Get on with it, man.
Well, sir, I've been thinking about this problem with the doctors. You know how to get the proper backup. Without giving the game away. Well, it ain't an original idea.
Somehow I guessed that.
Yeah, well, I got it up this old Greek.
This wouldn't be the best day to wind me up, Hollis.
Monroe's looking for you.
Running his errands now, are you?
Seems you're back in uniform on 8-4.
Oh, great.
Maybe he's giving Blackfield to someone a bit swifter on their feet, eh?
You have to admit it makes sense, sir.
That's what worries me. I wouldn't be worried at all if it was anyone else but Quinnan and Hollis.
It's for you, sir, Dr. Kelly.
Forget it.
But we got nothing special on. Besides, it won't take a minute.
Oh, yes, it would. I know you.
But I know people in the housing department and social welfare. And maybe if I had a word with them, they could do something.
Not if she won't cooperate.
Well, maybe nobody's taken the time to try and persuade her.
Leave it out, June. Mumro will go bananas.
Uniform 231, get down here quick! Quick, message!
Get off!
Give us it! Come here!
Just give me an excuse, sunshine.
All right, leave off. Consider yourself lucky. I'd have split your head open.
Sierra Oscar from 340.
Sierra Oscar receiving. Go ahead, Dave.
We've got a couple of young soldiers here, Sarge. Bringing them in now.
See the look on their face and looking at their gun, aren't they surprised?
I know, I was there.
Oh, hello, sir.
Sergeant Maitland finished with you two, has he?
Yes, sir. 2 bodies, signed, sealed, and delivered.
Right.
Inspector Monroe, you're wanted in the CAD room, please.
Yeah, well done, lads.
8-4 from Sierra Oscar, receiving.
Yeah, 8-4 receiving.
Emergency house call. 105 Coniston House, Blackfield Estate.
It's Mrs. Besant, June. Dr. Kelly's already left.
Is this a wind-up, Sarge? No one would use her twice in one day.
Dr. Kelly seems to think this could be genuine. She's gone in without backup. No way I could stop her, sir.
Sierra Oscar from 8-4.
Go ahead.
We're at Coniston House. Found the doctor's car, but no sign of her. We're on our way up. Sir Oscar 595. Dr. Kelly's fine. No sign of any trouble.
You need to get in straight away. Can you break down the door?
Yeah, just hang on a minute, hang on.
Look, look.
Okay, yeah, you better do it. Get back. We do what we can.
It's not enough, though, is it? There's nothing more I can do here.
I'm a caring policeman, Jude. We'll do it nicely. I'll give him a bunch of flowers and a big kiss.
What about his family?
His family? Well, I can't kiss everyone, can I? The wife will get jealous. Then we'll bang him up.
CPS have okayed it, Tosh. Early start.
More money, I can't stand it.
It's James Bailey.
Isn't he coming out soon? Tomorrow morning.
For about 10 seconds.
Let's just say another couple of jobs came to light in his absence.
His mate stumped him.
Yes, ma'am. As soon as mate comes in, I'll break it to him gently.
Break what?
Bailey's done a runner.
You'll break his heart.
Yes? Ah, Mike, come in. Take a seat.
Thank you.
You've heard about Bailey.
Yes.
Obviously, this is a wider matter now he's absconded from prison, but I've asked that you be given free rein here. You've worked very hard on his case.
Thank you.
But I suggest you deal with it quickly.
Oh, it shouldn't take long.
Would he come back here to his old ground?
It's the only ground he knows.
Right. This character.
Steve Watkins.
Yes. He's been rather helpful, hasn't he?
I'll pay him a visit, see if he knows anything. He might not. But he and Bailey aren't exactly bosom chums anymore.
Who could help?
I'll try Bailey's girlfriend. Pierce. Trish Pierce. I think they kept in touch. He gave her flat his destination after release. There's no point canning someone if you can't sit on the lid. If they'd done their job...
He was coming out 3 years, Mike. You wouldn't think he'd skip his porridge.
Yeah, but he has, hasn't he? And he'll just have to go back inside and eat it.
Everything okay?
Oh, everything's wonderful.
Gov Bailey's optic. Reed's got the details.
I see. And where are you going now?
To see Pierce.
Who is it?
Who's it look like? Come on, Pierce.
What do you want?
We're looking for your lover boy,
What do you mean?
Bailey. He said he'd be coming here when he gets out.
Yeah, I know.
He got out a little early, Pierce.
That's news to you, is it?
No.
Frank, have you heard about Bailey?
Yeah, Michael told me.
I'm letting him sort it out. He's done a good job on it so far.
Viv and I could go and see a few people.
Mike can handle it.
Well, if he needs any backup...
Why should he?
Do you want a doctor for that, love?
You see a lot of sunglasses round here. It's like Benidorm on a Sunday. He came for his letters from inside. Here. I kept them. Well, he'd have killed me if I hadn't. You ever been in love like that? It got worse after I stopped the visits. He's gone after Steve.
Steve who?
Watkins.
Of course, Watkins fingered him for the job.
That as well.
As well as what?
Because of us. Someone told him.
Told him what?
About us. Me and Steve, you know?
When did he get here?
Last night, about 3, woke me up. After he'd gone over, he hitched a lift, walked some, found one of his mates, got some cash and clothes, came to say hello. He's got away with words.
Who did he phone? Any guesses?
Tommy Cochran.
Do you know where he is now? What about Steve?
Well, he wouldn't know.
Where is he?
I don't know.
You got any more of those letters?
Yeah. I'll just...
Henderson might. He's an old pal of Bailey's. Turned Queen's evidence at his trial.
What are friends for?
Thanks, love. We'll get him back to you.
I don't want them back. I don't want him back.
We'll have him away by tea time.
They're keeping the pot warm for him, love.
So she's getting knocked off by Watkins.
Takes all sorts.
And Watkins fingered Bailey. Yeah? So he doesn't want Bailey out very much then, does he?
Nobody wants him out. Listen, Tosh. Watkins gave me a lead, I followed it up. Their motives don't concern me.
Now, darling, £2.50.
Cheers.
He should buy you flowers, you know. I would if I could afford it. 50p. Now, you keep smiling, it's beautiful. Oh, sorry, you before me?
No, after you go.
Will I have some of those if I may? £3 cup. Good job. What's your problem? Yep.
You tell me, Henderson.
I don't know nothing. Here I go. Cheers. Thank you. I don't know you.
Where's Bailey?
Banged up.
Come on, you know better than...
I don't know nothing.
You got a licence for this lot?
You don't scare me, Dashwood, not anymore.
We're looking for him.
Oh, that's nice. Last time I heard he was looking for you. Can I help you, madam? So, if you want him, Dashwood, look over your shoulder.
What about Watkins?
Got the ground, and I'd do the same if I were you. Now, clear off, please.
Gone where?
Try Farquhar Street, the Green Man, right? Look, no one's helping him. No way. And Dashwood, no one's helping you. Oh, Mike, I can't be seen with you, right? There's a good lad. Yes, sir, can I help you?
Come on, Tosh.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and see Cochrane.
Oh,
you try Watkins, I'll drop you.
OK, yeah.
Lovely bit of decoration. Goes with anything. First shit today, boy.
She's OK, Steve.
What you call bad, then? Holidays. Trish and me, we're packing up. Got me snorkeling gear. It's going to be great.
Are you taking Pierce?
He has flipped, you know. Stark screaming bananas. That's why I'm off. Bed sitting in Brighton. I've always wanted one. Ain't you scared of him?
No.
I hope your friend is.
Hello, Tommy. Let's have a little chat, shall we? Have you got a minute?
I care for her. Not like Bailey, with all his till the moon drips honey stuff. I just care for her. Brighton could be better. Couldn't be worse, could it?
What could I do? I got a call, reverse charge.
Why you?
I don't know. Look, I am the only bloke he knows that hasn't stitched him up.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, well, he might do.
When?
Stick around, he's got it in for you.
Why?
Well, he didn't say. Look, he was here. I wasn't going to call you blokes.
You're in the stew for helping him.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Just go easy on the salt. Oh, look, he's off his trolley. I just did what he asked. I was going to tell you. The nick has done him in.
Yeah, Mike Dashwood. Have a pick-up at 4 Cherry Park Mansions. Thank you. What did you keep for him, Tommy?
What? Look, I didn't know. Well, I did. I just stuck it in the garden. I thought he'd forget. Like, he got it off some bloke who got a stretch or something. I don't know. It was just rubbish. He talked all kinds of rubbish.
What is it?
You cancel that call.
I don't negotiate, Cochrane.
All right, look. I swear I did not know at the time. Look, it was a favour. OK. He's got a shotgun. I mean, it's a tube of rust. It's nothing, but... Look, you know what he's like. He said 1 barrel's for Watkins. And you know why. and the other's for you.
If Bailey manages to shoot you...
Get off. He hasn't got the bottle.
Yeah, but if he does... Can I have your suit?
There might be a few holes in it, Tosh. What's this?
All right.
Hiya.
Bailey's got Henderson and Ellison.
These two Dashwood. I want a few words with you.
Go. I think Bailey's after Mike.
I hope not. I couldn't stand another collection. I don't want any dead heroes on my team, Michael. They never buy around. Take the section house.
No, I'll go home.
All right, but stay there.
Dashwood, move it, will you? I haven't got a lot of time. Sit down. So, I'll get straight to the point. Why does Bailey want you dead?
Because I do my job.
That's a clever answer, Mike. I don't want clever answers.
I was going to arrest him.
Did he know that?
He must have.
How?
Rumours.
Did someone tell him specifically?
I suppose so. Someone must have.
You paid him a visit, didn't you? You didn't happen to mention it.
He could have guessed.
But you didn't mention it.
In passing, I might have.
Did you?
Yes.
Why?
It must have come up.
And why did you visit him?
To clarify a few points of evidence.
Oh, so it wasn't clear then before you saw him?
I was being thorough.
And it was clear after, was it?
I knew I had a case.
And you told him that?
I suppose I must have.
Did you? Good. So, what about Pierce? Your main witness, what's his name, Steve Watkins? He was having a relationship with her, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
She, of course, being Bailey's girlfriend. Didn't that worry you?
Their motives
don't concern you, no. But somebody told Bailey.
So I gather.
Pity, isn't it? It's a pity that somebody told him.
Yes.
You didn't have to mention it. It's your neck on the line, Dashwood. Don't worry about me.
Look, I'm sorry, sir. Am I supposed to be under some sort of...
I'm investigating a murder, Dashwood. Now, Henderson was wiped off the street with a shotgun for talking to you. And I want to know why.
I mentioned it to him.
Why?
Because he was asking for it.
What do you mean he was asking for it? He asked you a question?
His attitude.
Oh, you just wanted to knock him down a bit.
It's what he deserved.
Judge and jury now, are we?
Of course not, sir.
And how did he react when you told him?
It shut him up.
And how did you feel? Were you sad for him?
No.
You were pleased. You enjoyed it.
Enjoyed what?
Inflicting pain, Dashwood. We all know Bailey's unstable, but he wouldn't want you dead without good reason, would he?
Flat's been done over.
But what about Pierce?
Gone.
Dashwood. Yeah, hello, Gov. Well, I was getting a takeaway. I haven't got anything in. Yeah, well, I've got to eat. When?
What do you mean, done over? Where's Pierce?
Oh, she's probably gone to Watkins. He said he'd meet her down in the sunny south. Yeah, well, good luck to her. Yes, I'm staying in. I put a chain on the door. Yes, I'll be all right. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, cheers.
Hello, mate. Let's have a chat, shall we? Got a minute? I shouldn't bother, I'll just plug you back. Wouldn't want to waste that anyway, would you? Man should enjoy his last meal. I bet you stuffed down your lunch without even thinking about it. Get yourself a plate. We didn't think we'd come here for supper. How nice. We? Royal we. Power does that to you. No, Trish and me. Where is she? Let's take a look. In there. She's waiting for you. Go on, don't be shy. You've done her a favour, really. No more crap. That's not a bad thought, is it? Shall we dine?
Hello?
I want someone to stay with Michael.
Where?
Don't ask for hands up, Gov.
OK, thanks. Gov, that was Cad. There's been a reported shooting. Sound of a gun anyway, indoors. It's Mike's.
Come on, weren't you brought up to finish your plate? Some little chap died for that. At least you could do is chew him. Running out of spit? Must be tea break time. Maybe not. Maybe they're coming to save Trish. Bit late, eh? She liked it, though. Great big fuss. Horrible bang it made sending her off. I could have strangled her with piano wire, but I don't have a piano, and even if I did, I wouldn't know how to play it. Looks like you'll have to miss pudding. Let's get some out.
Right, let us see that blocking off the roads round here. I want these flats cleared, everybody well back. Right. There, and there.
That'll do. Unless you jump. There's an option for you. It's a chance, isn't it? Wonders of modern medicine. What do you think, eh? About death?
I don't.
And you better.
Jim.
What?
I was only doing my job.
I'm just doing mine. Your job? Don't give me that. I just want it out. Your job? Go on, Mike. There's your pudding. Eat what you feed everyone else.
James Bailey.
Get up.
Can you hear me?
Wave to your friends. I said wave. I'm worried about you. Wave. I can't mean it. Look at me, everyone. I'm the king of the castle. Wave. Someone take a picture.
Oh, Michael. Silly sod.
James Bailey. Can you hear me?
Tell him if he doesn't shut up, I'll shoot you. Go on. He says he'll shoot me if you say anything else.
If we get a clear line on him out here and his aim's away, he shoots.
Right.
What's Dashwood like under pressure?
Don't you know?
What's he doing? He's positioning his marksman.
I'm no marksman. I like to get up close. I can't afford to miss. I've only got the one shot. Quick and clean. Properly. I reckon it's important the way you go. Because nothing much is important after that. Nothing at all. It's almost something to look forward to. I bet you're scared. I'd love you to be scared. What's it like? Does it creep over you? Does it choke you?
Yes.
Tell him. Tell him what it's like. Go on.
I'm scared.
Oh, Mike, they can't hear that. Shout it. Shout it. I said shout it.
Look, Jim, you need help.
Shout it, go on. That's what really scares you, isn't it? Are you scared? Or scared to say you're scared? I don't want to go back. There. That's my little fear. I couldn't stand it. I'm not going back!
Bailey, put the gun down. You're not going to get out of here.
Come on, Mike. Don't be coy. What do you want? I want to see you squirm. I want to see you suffer. Like filth. Like me.
Even if I did, you couldn't get away from here.
Oh, no.
I had you down for a couple of robberies. You'd be out in 10, less.
10? What about this?
Oh, they'd know you're cracked.
You'll tell them, will you?
I'm putting a word.
No, you won't. Because you'll be dead. One shot. What do you suggest?
Look, Jim, don't be...
Not much time left, Mike. This is for my life. What a waste.
Are you all right?
What happened, Michael? I guess he didn't want to go back.
I'll take you down the station. Uniform are swarming all over your flat. You scared the life out of me. Mind you, didn't half look a prat up here waving.